So hello, today is the 23rd of May and we talked about writing. It was our first writing lesson. And I made a PowerPoint again. It was just here. And we did half of the writing. So the second half we'll do next week. So this was our writing PowerPoint. And for homework, which we're talking about tonight, is various famous authors and what books they've written. This is the reading homework. Okay, now Unit 8, writing, so taken from this book. And we know that writing is one of the more important macro skills we need for communicating. We're reading, listening, writing, and speaking. So writing is a skill that we need to have if we're going to be able to converse and communicate and operate in this world where we speak English. Introduction. So introduction was looking at why we need English writing skills. And also it mentions to go back to chapter 2 to look at analysing and teaching English. That was the grammar chapter. Okay, we talked about how ESL students are on a continuum. The oral, the way that they speak, not very well, or literacy, meaning pre-literate down here, where they can't form the letters yet, or advanced literary skills up here. Those are going on to study IELTS, academic English would be up here. And because it's a continuum, you can be anywhere here or here. You might have some students that can speak but can't write, they'd be up here. So they've got high oral, but then low literacy down here. So up here, oral. So low literacy but high oral, so up here. Or they could have low oral and low literacy, so be down here. No, they could have good speaking skills, high oral and high literacy. So we talked about that the writing ties in with chapter 7, the reading unit, which we did previously, where we learnt how to introduce the sound spelling relationships using things like the easier diphthongs, cat, sat, mat, and then going up. But in this chapter, we're learning how to form the letters. And that these skills, forming the letters and the words, the understanding the meaning of the words, are skills that they learn simultaneously. When we start with the pre-literate people, we do things like this, just the little patterns, to get them used to holding a pen. And we talked about how you hold a pen like this, and you just move your hand and wrist, not your shoulder or your arm. And when we're introducing the letters, children's primary school alphabet books often have sort of fairy tale characters and things like that, but if we're teaching adults, we might use words that they can relate to in their everyday life. And that some students might be embarrassed if we have children's material. You can buy pre-literate material for adults as well. All you need is to have paper like this where you have the dotted line, meaning it's halfway. So like the M, for example, goes halfway, the L goes to the top. We call this the tail, so the tails need to go down to this line here. This is the Queensland way of writing, and we talked about it's actually different in Victoria. So we have our P's like this and our B's like that. School children in Victoria learn this. And this is where you go, the Department of Education and Training, to find examples on how to write. So how most Victorians write would be using these ones. And F is the last one, maybe about grade 5, grade 4. All students would be able to write like this in Australia, well, Victoria. So we have the cursive joined letters. And we need to know whether to use uppercase or capital or big or small or lower. You can say block letters for capital as well. And we talked about how to teach spelling. So I was saying teach it implicitly is best, like when you're doing the ing present continuous. You'd mentioned that if it's like the word smile, the E gets dropped. whatever words come up in class, if there's a spelling rule that we can teach them, we teach them then. And matching words with pictures, realia, props, doing miming. It's a good way to teach. And the next part of the writing book was needs analysis, which we do to work out their level. So this can be, the first part of it is basic stuff about their family, where they live, what work, what school, so we know their level of academic education, but also because there'll be a test involved when they start the school, there'll be a pre-entry level test and you can work from that. As plus you can give your level 2 to work out their level. Yep. And then we're doing the rest next week. So today was a fairly short lesson, just half of writing. And that was it. So I'll stop the recording now.